A nuclear bomb, also known as an atomic bomb, is a weapon that derives its destructive power from the release of nuclear energy through a nuclear reaction. The bomb works by splitting the nucleus of an atom into smaller fragments, releasing a huge amount of energy in the process. The development of the first nuclear bomb was a major scientific and engineering achievement, but it also had devastating consequences. The first atomic bomb was detonated in 1945 over the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, killing over 200,000 people and causing widespread destruction. Nuclear bombs come in different sizes and designs, but they all work on the same basic principle of nuclear fission. The bomb contains a critical mass of fissile material, such as uranium or plutonium, that is surrounded by conventional explosives. When the explosives are detonated, they compress the fissile material, causing a chain reaction that releases a tremendous amount of energy in the form of heat, light, and radiation. The destructive power of a nuclear bomb is measured in terms of its yield, which is the amount of energy released. The yield of a nuclear bomb can range from a few kilotons to several megatons of TNT. For comparison, the bomb dropped on Hiroshima had a yield of about 15 kilotons, while the largest nuclear bomb ever tested, the Russian Tsar Bomba, had a yield of 50 megatons. The use of nuclear bombs is highly controversial due to their devastating effects on human life and the environment. The long-term effects of radiation exposure can cause cancer, birth defects, and other health problems. In addition to the immediate physical damage caused by the blast, the aftermath of a nuclear explosion can include fires, radioactive fallout, and other secondary effects that can cause further damage and loss of life. Since the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, there have been efforts to control the spread of nuclear weapons and to prevent their use in warfare. The Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, which was signed in 1968, aims to prevent the spread of nuclear weapons and to promote the peaceful use of nuclear technology. Despite these efforts, there are still several countries in possession of nuclear weapons, and the threat of nuclear war remains a concern for many people around the world. The production and use of nuclear weapons requires specialized knowledge, resources, and infrastructure, making it challenging for non-nuclear states to develop their own weapons. However, some countries have been able to acquire nuclear weapons through clandestine means, such as smuggling or covert programs. The possession of nuclear weapons by different countries has led to international tensions and concerns about nuclear proliferation. The fear of a nuclear war breaking out between countries with nuclear weapons has been a major concern for decades, particularly during the Cold War era, when the United States and Soviet Union engaged in a nuclear arms race. In recent years, there have been efforts to reduce the number of nuclear weapons in the world and to limit their role in military strategies. The New START Treaty, signed by the United States and Russia in 2010, limits the number of deployed strategic nuclear warheads and delivery systems. Other international agreements, such as the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty and the Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons, seek to prevent the development and use of nuclear weapons. Despite these efforts, the threat of nuclear war and the devastating consequences of a nuclear detonation remain a major concern for global security. The development of new technologies, such as hypersonic missiles and space-based weapons, could potentially increase the risk of a nuclear conflict in the future. In addition to military and political concerns, there are also environmental and ethical issues associated with nuclear weapons. The radioactive fallout from nuclear detonations can contaminate the air, water, and soil, causing long-term damage to ecosystems and human health. The use of nuclear weapons is often seen as a violation of international law and basic ethical principles, as it can result in the indiscriminate killing of civilians and the destruction of cities and infrastructure. Overall, nuclear weapons remain one of the most controversial and complex issues in global security and international relations. While there have been significant efforts to reduce their proliferation and limit their role in military strategies, the risk of a nuclear conflict remains a major concern for policymakers and citizens around the world.